So let me open up discussion with Major Gen Rajesh Sahai.
Yeah.
Sir has been the consultant to UPSC and especially with the CSC, and sir has got expertise in answer evaluation. So sir, let me ask you, what is a good answer as per you?
See, Raspreet has covered it in detail. Um, the answer has to be, there is something known as KISS. Keep it simple. I leave the silly part of it. Because this examination is not on vocabulary. कि मेरी vocabulary कितनी अच्छी है. Do I have high flown words like Mr. Shashi Tharoor? Not required. You need to keep it very, very simple and to the point. Because everything is timed. Like the speech said, everything is timed. Each question, when the questions are prepared, should I also tell you what happens is uh, a mock question is paper is produced and given to some people who sit in UPSC and answer those questions in 3 hours. Okay, learned people who answer the question in 3 hours to see that uh, are they able to do it in 250 words, 50 words, and 500 words. And then there is a cut and paste to see that, okay, ये जो subject है needs 500 words, or this subject needs 250 words or 50 words. So it is a very, very scientific thing done. Okay, so that is one part of it. So Raspreet had mentioned one thing which I quite like, is time management. Next, all you guys are there. I'll just take a small test of yours. I'm very sure you have a piece of paper and your pen. So what I'll do is, I will read out, say, about 3-4 lines, okay? And I will read it out in the normal way I'm speaking. You just note down. And don't worry, if you don't understand a word, doesn't make a difference. जो आपका मन है, आप लिख लो, okay? And I'm maximum going to cover 4 to 5 sentences. There is a thing which I'm going to tell you after this as to why I made you do it. So please, guys, just be ready, and I will just give you this sort of a dictation, okay? And then we'll come to it, what it is all about. Okay. I will speak in the same pace which I'm speaking. Okay. Right? Everyone is ready? Fine. So here I start. As
everyone is ready?
Everyone is ready, I guess? Cool. Doesn't make a difference. Take the thing, because there is a lesson in that, what I'm going to tell you. Okay.
Paper
so here I start.
Pen required.
Just any paper, any pen. कुछ भी आपके पास notebook हो वगैरह वगैरह हो. Preferably it should be a full-scale sheet, because that is the type of sheet which you will get in your examination. So not to worry. Let's go ahead. Sir. As lifelong students of leadership, we are fascinated with the notion of what makes a leader. I'll read it out again. As lifelong students of leadership, we are fascinated with the notion of what makes a leader, comma, why is it that certain people seem to naturally inspire confidence, comma, loyalty, and hard work. Last sentence I'll reread. Why is it that certain people seem to naturally inspire confidence, comma, loyalty, and hard work, full stop. Okay. Now what you do is, just count the number of words you have written in the first line. I've given you one full sentence, which may be in maybe 2 lines or 2.5 lines. How many words have you written in the first line? That, ladies and gentlemen, is your speed of writing. Okay? When I wrote this paragraph, in my first line, I wrote between 10 to 11 because my handwriting is slightly small. Okay? So that means in one line, I could write 10 such words. So if it is 250 words, divided 10 by 250, so that means 25 lines I have to write. If you have to write 500 words, then do that. So that means if I know that in one line, leave the to and all those things, the major words are 10, hypothetically. So 25 line mein, my 250 words are answered. Okay. Now, like Hina Shah says that she wrote 10 words. Yes, that is your speed of writing, and that is your speed of thinking. Because you, when you think and you write, both your hand and your mind is in sync with each other. You're talking to yourself when you're writing. Okay, so that is the first thing. Second thing, I shouldn't say it. Gandhi said that you can never improve your, Mahatma Gandhi said you can never improve your handwriting. No, you can. Okay. Suppose I ask you, who this person concerned, okay, Mr. Rahul Anand. The Rahul Anand, chal aise karte hain, let's go for your cousin's wedding. Okay. So Rahul Anand, or whoever, gentleman or lady, ऐसे आज शाम को हमने किसी की शादी पे जाना है. So according, will I wear a tracksuit and go for a marriage? Or will I wear my jockey shorts to go for a marriage? No, no. I will open the almirah. I will see what type of clothes I have. I'll get it pressed or I'll press it myself. I'll see how does it combine. And then go as a presentable person. Isn't it? If that be so, you people are selling yourself to the examiner who's seeing your paper. So the paper comes to me and I see and I adjust my specs, because most of us are at my age there. So आधी चीज तो दिखाई नहीं देती और दूसरी दिखाई देती है. You have to adjust your specs. And the first thing you say, यार कैसा लिखा है इसने, अभी क्या लिखा है, you know. So what is happening is you are not selling yourself. Selling yourself is your USP. Handwriting is your USP. When I see a good hand, generally, I don't want a artistic hand, but I find a good hand, well written. I'm telling you, take it from me, I'm a human being, and all of us sitting there are human beings, the examiners. We'll start looking at things in the positive manner. Okay? So expect more marks when your handwriting is legible. I don't want, again, please, no artistic handwriting, legible hand. Don't maro gasita. That is the second point. Third point, I will show you a slide in the end. There is a way of answering questions. The first thing is that suppose my question has a 500 word, 250 word, whatever you may take it. That has say 250 words. I have 10 points to answer. Okay. Please invest in a scale, foot ruler, chota wala, plastic wala. It is a must that if you put a group heading or a sub-para heading or a sub-para heading, just underline it. It shows that you are taking an effort. You see, in 8 lakh people, I was just checking on Google, 11,845 have cleared the prelims this time. If you have to come in the top, I just cut out a figure of 200. And the 11,845 out of 8 lakh is 1.4%. Out of 11,845, you have to come in top 200, it is 1.4%. That is why the CSC is a tough ball game. Okay, prelims is one thing which you cleared. That means your base knowledge is good. Mains is how do you present yourself. Presentation is very, very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. From the guy who gets the highest, he doesn't get more than 49 to 50%. Majority of the people are at 20, 25% because it's a competitive exam. You don't have to get 100 out of 100. I think 50 odd percent is the normal thing. But majority of the people are in the 20% block of the answer. 10 में से 2 mark, 3 mark. Next, don't leave any question unanswered. There are regulations to say that unless the person has written nothing, then it is 0. If the person has written something, give them some marks. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have written something, whatever it may be, actually at times irrelevant also, at least you will get 1 mark out of 10. So don't leave any question unanswered. That is sacrilege. It's a sin. Okay. In the army, we call, Verma would know, we call that as CMK, common military knowledge. So when you've cleared your prelims and you've come into mains, there is certain knowledge which you have. You've got a fantastic base of knowledge. And you can answer a tough question which are common knowledge. You know, whatever it may be. You may have just heard about it a wee bit. It is in the back of your mind. Answer it. Jawab zarur dena. That is the second thing. Okay. I need to give you 2 points. Clarity and brevity. C and B, or B and C. Brevity and clarity. Don't try to write. It is not a history exam. It is checking your analytic ability to answer a question in the period which has been allotted. So brevity and clarity is 2 things which you should be very, very clear about. I have nothing against, there are a lot of institutions which do all the training and all those things, part of it. I have nothing against them, please. Don't take it that way. Now, this year there was a question on Northeast, I think in GS3 or whatever, on the problems in Northeast India. Majority, I would say, and we all used to say, why the hell have the people done this? About 80 to 90% people made the northeastern states as a map. Not required. Just imagine that आपने त्रिपुरा की जगह पे नागालैंड दिखा दिया और नागालैंड की जगह में आपने मिजोरम दिखा दिया. The first thing you say, yeah, this chap doesn't not even know where are his the 7 sisters, right? Yes, don't make maps unnecessarily. This is not a test of geography. Not required. You're wasting that space. Because see, the answer in the answer book, you have only a specific space. So if you start making maps, you're wasting time. And how does a map relate to the question of Northeast ka problem? Yeah, you're very clear that the Northeast is touching Bangladesh, is touching Myanmar or whatever, Nepal and all these places. You clear the map in your mind. The examiner does not need your map unless he says, please draw a map. Don't waste your time in drawing maps. Okay. I think most of the coaching institutions insist on drawing maps. Not required. I seen the maps it a bit. I just glanced at it, was bloody hell, yaar, isko 7 states so pata hi nahi hai, ye kya jawab de raha hai? So the first thing I put with the red mark, I cross it. Don't do that. Not required. Map is a different thing. Flow chart is a different thing. Flow charting is accentuating what you're writing, and don't waste too much time on flow chart, because when the examiner sits there, he gets the answer sheet, and he answers as per that. He checks the questions and answers as per that. Very, very clear. Okay. Next thing, what this guy Raspik was saying, I would suggest what you do is, you see the last pages, I think you got the rough. And when you are reading a question, you please sit down and don't be in a hurry to start. Let me start. No. Just sit down and read the questions. Take your pencil and mark what that guy is asking the question. So I read question 1. I just mark it quickly. Just underline it, just tick it, but rub it off later on, okay? To the question 1, 2, so and so forth. Because what happens is that when you read all the questions, spend the time on that. Please, it's very, very essential. Spend time on that. Because you say, okay, let me start with question number one. When you're answering question number one, your mind is answering the question, but the back of your mind is already thinking of question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you may get certain points of that question because your mind is now working at a rapid pace. And you're writing question 1 or 2 or whatever, and suddenly you get something, yeah, question number 10, ये 2-1 point डालना, तो just flip the paper, rough में Q10 and 1-2 points pencil में लिख दो. Because everything is timed. That is very, very important. Please read your questions properly. Please, with your pencil, mark it. But when you hand over your answer book, please take a rubber so that you rub off whatever is marking on the answer paper. Another thing is, please, for God's sake, avoid putting any symbols of any sorts. Some guys say, मेरे को मदद कर दो, मैं बड़े गरीब परिवार से आ रहा हूँ, हाथ जोड़ से आपसे नमन है. Some guy puts in the start Om, some puts this, some put, don't do that. You will get a stinker from UPSC, right? That why are you marking this stuff on your paper? No such representations, and rather it will go against you. If you're getting good marks, your marks will be cut because of that representation. Please help me out. Please help me out. No, please. No, nothing to be written on the paper except the answers. Okay. Second thing is that when you read the questions, there's some people who are still preparing for the prelims. There's some people who have already cleared the prelims, and people who have cleared the prelim, congratulations. I mean, out of 8 lakh, you're 1.6% if you've cleared the prelims and sitting for the mains. See, your base knowledge is fantastic. बहुत बढ़िया. Don't waste too much time. Jitna bhi you try to garner information, there is so much about information that one topic can have millions of points. You don't have that time. For one topic, you can give 10 points, 8 points, 7 points, 5 points, depending on the number of words you're supposed to put. If a 500-point word question answer, you may work out about 15 to 20 points. Good points, 15 to 20. Please don't repeat the points. Okay? So be very, very clear. How do you write? How do you present yourself? Now, there are certain things which will come to you. Analyze, compare, define, describe, discuss, evaluate, explain, summarize, critical examination, examine. I will repeat it again. Analyze. Analyze, compare, define, describe, discuss, evaluate, critical analysis, examine, explain. Please, there is the blog spot. Please go into the Oxford ka blog spot. Just read through it. It will take you about maximum 10 minutes. I don't want to repeat about what does analyze mean, what does critical analysis mean, what does define, examine, discuss mean. Get through it, read it if you're preparing for your mains. Because that is the limiting factor in the question. When he's talking of critical analysis, he's given a statement. He wants to see how your mind works. Okay? He wants to see how your mind works. Do you have a logical thinking of your mind? I'll give you another thing. Now, I heard a speech saying, see, when you write a question, there are 3 parts. First is introduction. Second is main body. And third is conclusion. So when you write an introduction, you have to conclude. There is another way to do it. If you don't write an introduction and your paper says general, right? Please get it right. Introduction, main body, conclusion. There's another way to do it. The first part, instead of introduction, it is general. Then it is not incumbent on you to have a conclusion. It's a ustad ka nuska. So if you put instead of introduction, you put general, underline it and put that, then you write the main body. In the end, you can give your recommendations. Introduction is what you're going to write in the main body. Main body is the meat, and conclusion cannot be different from what you have written. That means if I write on some subject and I've discussed it in my main body, and suddenly the conclusion is on some other part, sorry, that is wrong. Your conclusion has to be based on the main body. But if you don't put introduction and you put the general and the main body when you discuss, then you can put your recommendations and your analysis. So think on these ways to answer the question paper. Okay, right. Um, okay, be very, very clear that you need to follow instructions. That is why everyone and anyone and everyone say, well, you need to read the question, because that instructions have to be very, very clear कि आपसे वो चाहता क्या है, right? It is not only whatever points you've written, even the recommendation and the analysis which you do holds a rather higher weightage. That what is your thought process? What is the future course of actions? These are the issues. What is the future course of actions? If you're telling critically analyze the pros and cons, and which one do you pick up, the pro or the con, the two or four? आप क्या चाहते हो? Say that, right? But it depends on what is the factor he is asking you. Okay. Be very, very clear. What happens is that when you are reading a question and the question paper, you are actually formulating the answer in your mind. कि मैं इसको ऐसे ऐसे जवाब दूंगा, इसको ऐसे ऐसे जवाब दूंगा. There is no point that if it is written 250 words and you write 400 words. So what you have done is that from you have added 150 words extra on on subtraction of another question where you won't be able to write 500 words because you'll run short of time. That is why I started with this exercise to see how many words you can write in a line. It's a must. It's a must that you do that. Because अगर 250 words है तो 25-26 खींच के 30 line. You know that 30 lines finished 250. I should not write more than that. Concluded. If it is 500 words, you know it is 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55 lines, depending on how many words you write per line. Be very clear. You can't, if I write, someone has written 10 words in a line, I can't write some, 80 lines. It is that on expense of some other question. You'll miss out on that because time over. Then you'll be, in the end, you'll be just scribbling and scrolling. Even you won't know what you've written. So be very clear. Okay. Right. Next thing is, though they don't ask you, but you want to give certain factual questions, facts and figures. But what happens is that at times we get, because there's so many facts and so many figures, we get confused. Okay. And it is normal because that amount of wide reading which is done, facts and figures cannot remain in your mind unless you really got a photographic memory. There's a way to do it. Suppose they say, what is the population of, say, India, right? 1.3 billion or whatever. I forget 1.3 or 1.2 or whatever. So I'm confused कि यार 1.25 था, 1.3 था, क्या था, whatever. So you can write 1.25 in bracket approximate. It gives an indication to the person that he's not trying to fool. ठीक है यार, facts and figures शायद भूल गया होगा. What he may have forgotten it or whatever, but he's generally there. So that approximation is no harm in bracket just putting it through. Okay. Right. Next thing is that in a 500 word question, we need to answer. You read the question. Now, introduction is what you're going to write. So you get lead out of that question itself. You have to paraphrase it, rephrase it. अगर आपका एक statement दिया हुआ है, you have to rephrase it to get an answer. So I just saw one, for example, that should the FIFA World Cup be awarded to countries with HR violations? This is a question. Now you want to rephrase it. So you can rephrase it that countries with HR violations should not be awarded FIFA World Cup as it rewards a nation's poor treatment of its citizens. So that can start as a rephrasing introduction. Now, also in that, what you have indicated, he's asked you a question, should we give it to the people who, the country which have HR violation? You have started to tell as to why you should not give. There are two ways, nahi dena or dena. But your question, your answer is started to say that we should not give. So it is very clear that your main body is going to be dependent on that. So it is known as paraphrasing or rephrasing the question into what is being asked. Okay, just read through it. You will understand it um, uh, better. Okay. Uh, okay. Now, when he asks you a question of similarities, you can't say that option A and option B both are good. No, no, no. He's asking you that if you have option A, B, or C, you have to choose one option. So don't leave it nebulous to say option A and B. No. If there's A and B and C and D with pros and cons, you please choose one option and give a logical conclusion to that as to why have you chosen. You can choose anything, but you have to be logical in your conclusion. You see, when you are IAS officers, IPS officers, and IRS and things like that, I train a lot of. By the way, I do a lot of training to addition secretary level at Niti Aayog and other places in the government of India, joint secretary levels. And most of the time, what happens is that you have to conclude. You have to take a decision based on your bosses. You have to give to your boss a decision that this is the probability. He may agree to you or he may disagree. But if you examined all options and you selected your option, which you feel, and you feel that is the best option with the pros and cons, you are directing your boss to pick up that option 99.99 times. He may not agree to you and give you a conclusion and give another option. But you have prepared, that is known as a completed staff work to your boss. Okay. So this papers are also seeing that you have the ability to do that. You have the ability to shift out of all the chaff which is available and bring out the wheat. That is very important. Okay. I think I told you, keep your language very, very simple. Grammar thoda sa theek rakhna, because it becomes irritating. That there's certain grammar, glaring grammar mistakes. I also check in Hindi. Hindi language also I do that. Wherever the grammar mistake is kharab lagta hai, that yaar, iska grammar is not very clear about, and grammar is something which you are taught from KG days. So be very, very clear in that. I had given you a point, right in flow, and stay on the relevance of the topic. Pata kya hota hai? I have a question number 5. I know that very well, yaar. And my mouth is salivating ki yaar, ye agar 500 word ka hota, I would have bloody maxed it. But wo 250 word ka. I have got 50 points. But you can't put 50 points. You have to, out of 50, you have to cut and make it 15 points. Relevant to the topic. I have prepared the topic so well, it is coming out of my brains and my ears and my mouth and my head and my everything. You have to sift, you have to cut. Irrelevant 35 points, I have only time for 15 points. So which are the crux points which I have to add? Be sensible, be smart, and be intelligent in doing that. Okay. So that is what is relevance of the topic. I had, in fact, I'll just show you, I just made one stuff. Right. I just try to show it to you guys. See if you can understand it.
You want to share your screen, sir?
Yeah. I just want to share the screen. Just a moment, please.
Harsha?
Again?
Harsha, please make sir co-host.
Just a moment. I'll do that. Not to worry. Just a moment, please. Okay, I'll just share the screen. See, guys, if you can see that, then let me know. Okay, you guys can see it now? Verma, can we see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Now, like the para heading I given it. So para heading, you can, put it as A. chota A, bada A, I leave the choice to you. Sub-para heading, that means out of this para heading, there are few more points. Sub-para heading you can give as 1. And sub-para heading you can give A1, A2, A3. You can follow your system. You can put a star, you can put a dot, you can put a tick. I leave that to you. But if you answer your question in a para, sub-para, and sub-para, the presentation of the paper becomes beautiful, right? It becomes very, very clear, very concise. Okay, this guy is, has taken efforts to do his thing well. So, and the second point, which I told you, that please keep it absolutely simple. It's a must. That let's not get it too complicated. It's not a vocabulary test. Simple language, charts, flow charts may be used. If you don't want to use it, choice is yours. Don't waste your time. If you find that it is irrelevant, that is why Raspreet had said that practice writing an answer, right? And when you make your notes of the guys who are from prelim to mains, when you make your notes, what I used to do in our UPSC entrance and other examinations, so say suppose a topic was there, I used to attach a piece of paper on the side of the a sheet, and I used to jot out my points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1 point ka agar subsections hai to sub para, sub para, I used to keep it, and I didn't have to read the main paper because I used to go through it, and my points were very clear. That I have 10 points or 20 points, I memorize the point, I am very clear. Okay, so these are the things which you guys can do. Choices are, see, everyone has his own style of doing things. It's not that my style is good and your style is bad or whatever. Everyone's style is fantastic. You have to get hold of your styles as what type of things you want to do. Okay, so that is what it is there for me. Anyone, if you've got anything, please let me know. We can take it out. Because we are running short of time, and the guys who have do their prelims, don't worry about the writing situation now. If your prelims are in June, you please bloody well study hard. There is no choice. The guys who are doing mains, please start answering your style of the question, how to answer. Sell yourself well. Interview is the last phase. We will get hold of you in the interview again, and then we will grill you and grill you and grill you till either you succeed or you curse us ki yaar hamari batti band kar din logon ne. So because for us also, that when you guys succeed, it makes us so happy that more than you, we are thrilled. And I always tell people, I asked a guy, why you want to do the CSE yaar? 1-2 साल से तू पढ़ रहा है, तेरी वाट लगी हुई है, किसके लिए कर रहा है? What are you doing it for? So he said, sir, I want to do it for my mummy, my papa, my dada, my dadi, my nana, my nani. I said, very nonsense, bullshit. Do it for yourself.
Yes,
Be
yes.
selfish.
Yeah, that be the
You
priority.
succeed or you don't succeed, your parents are not going to love you more or hate you hell of a lot. Sorry. Your parents will keep loving you if you succeed or if you fail. Okay? Don't worry. But do it for one person, and that one person is yourself. Do it for you to achieve something in life. Your dada, dadi, nana, nani, your padosi, vadasi, no one matters. Only person matters is you. If you want to achieve something in life, you have to work your ass off. Someone takes 2 months, someone takes 3 months, someone takes 6 months, someone takes 8 hours, someone takes 10 hours. You do whatever you feel like, yeah. You take out your 8 hours of sleep or 7 hours of sleep. The rest of the time is 16 hours. Take out another 2-3 hours of khana, pina, ye, wo, dain, bain, ghumna, firna. You have, 13 hours. You take out another 1 or 2 hours. You have 10 hours to study. 24 में से 14 घंटे इधर कर दो. Picture भी देखो यार. Who the hell? Go bloody have a party also, because you need to download your attention. Ask Verma, he done his MBBS. It was not very easy. So if you have laid down that 8 hours is enough for me, damn good. For some people, 8 hours is too much, yeah. For someone, it's too little. So it is your doing how you do it. Okay, right, Verma? I finished.
Sir, stop sharing the screen. Would
Yeah,
we come? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sorry.
So beautifully covered, sir. All the dimensions of a good answer, I think, beautifully answered. And
Thank you,
he
sir.
has killed so many apprehensions, anxiety, and the fear. Obviously, the FOMO also. People keep asking me what should be the right test approach, but
Yeah,
there
it
is.
is. Yeah, we had Verma would tell out. We had a boy. He's there on WhatsApp with me, Samir. Fantastic fellow. There was a lady girl who asked that she's working, and
Nupur Goyal, sir.
yeah, no, this boy
Nup,
is Samir. He's from Maharashtra, and
sir.
when we interviewed him in the mock interview, I found that guy fantastic. He was very good, uh, but unfortunately, he did not clear. You know, he cleared, but his ranking was very low. So
Yes,
I
sir.
asked him, "What happened, son? Don't get so discouraged." He said, "Sir, I am doing my work because he's an MBA and he's doing a fantastic
Yes,
job
sir.
in Mumbai." So I said, "What are you planning to do?" He said, "Sir, I'm thinking of not leaving my work." I said, "Okay, do that. If that suits you, you're a smart fellow. I'm very sure you will do very well." So there was a lady who was that Rasika or Hina Shah or someone that I'm already working. Then what should I do? Choice is yours. If with your work you can give 8-9 hours of studies, go ahead. If you can't, then you may have to take the hard call. And that is where your parents come into feature. When my son wanted to do his MBA, he had to leave his job. He was a chemical engineer and he's done his MBA from IFT. So he asked us that, Dad, I want to leave my job. So I said, okay, son, you take a call. He said, no, it is fine, but will you take care of me for 1 year? I said, I will do that. I promise you. We will look after you, khana, pina, vagara, vagara, sab mere bharose, don't worry. If you want to chuck your job, you go ahead, you take your call. That is where your parents come into feature, where you have to tell your parents that, well, I'm thinking of leaving my job because I can't clear my CSC unless I am mentally at peace. So, choice is yours. That you have to select it. Hanji, anything here?
Sir, I open up the platform for the discussion now. Anybody would like to ask, can ask to the general officer. I think Rahul
Rahul
raised
Anand
his,
has something.
yeah, Rahul raised his hand long before. Rahul, please unmute yourself.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sir,
Loud and
Rahul is from Northeast.
okay.
He joined us.
Which state are
Yeah.
you from, Sam?
Sir, I am from Assam.
Damn good. I was in Tezpur for 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sir, you discussed before that, sir, there is difference between flow chart and drawing diagram. Sir, what's the
Oh,
difference between that?
no, no, no. What I was telling you was that if you see your previous question papers, there was a question on the problems in Northeast, right?
Yes.
What are the problems in Northeast? Various issues, including the terrain part of it, and smuggling and narcotics and arms, etc., etc., etc. So most of the people had made a map of Northeast, which is not required. Just
Yes.
imagine if I put Assam at say Mizoram or Manipur, you as a Assamese will see यार साले को उसको Assam ही नहीं पता कहाँ है यार तो फिर बाकी क्वेश्चन क्या आंसर करेगा? It is
Yes, sir.
irrelevant. You have to understand what is the relevance and the irrelevance. So making a map of Northeast state is irrelevant. As long as you understand that the Northeast borders which countries from south to east to north. Very, very clear. And the examiner is also very clear. So don't waste your time in making a map and उसमें अंदर arrow बनाओ कि ये मिजोरम है ये मणिपुर relevant क्या है यार? It is irrelevant, no? So
Yes.
that was the difference. Flow charting is a different ball game. If I ask you in emotional intelligence and you have the thing, what are the 4 factors of emotional intelligence? You may like to make a flow chart or self-realization, social realization, and all those things put together. So then it's a different thing. It's a different ball game. You have to pick it up. If it assists you in your answer and assists you to sell your answer to the examiner to give you more points. That is what my point was, Rahul.
Okay,
Sir.
thank you, sir.
Sir, one more candidate, Lydia is there. Sir, these students are our classroom students, sir. We have started our full-time Zoom interactive classes, sir.
Oh, that's very good. Okay, okay,
Uh,
okay. I didn't know
and
this.
yes, sir. So Lydia is there. Lydia, please go ahead.
I would actually like to ask about how
You are
to
not
inculcate.
audible. No, you are not much clear.
Your speaker and your mouth should be slightly distant.
Can you
Like,
hear me?
yeah, I can, but there's a lot of resonance in your voice.
Background. Yeah. Yeah, Lydia, go ahead. We'll
Good,
manage.
good, good. Put your mic slightly away from your mouth. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Lydia, unmute.
Can you?
Left,
Hello.
She,
left master.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead. She's saying
I was
unmute.
asking. I guess something is echoing.
It's okay. You go ahead. We'll
I was
manage.
asking how to inculcate leadership qualities because
How to inculcate leadership qualities.
yeah,
Sir, please.
Uh, 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 is this a question for your preparation of your CSC?
no,
Is this out of the context you're talking?
no. Actually, I'm asking
Sir, she
when
took the liberty to ask the general officer, sir.
Okay. Lydia, where are you from, by the way?
Kerala.
Okay, you're from Kerala. See, leadership has got many factors. Leadership is positional leadership. So that means if Mr. Modi has been placed as the Prime Minister of the country, he is the top executive of the country. So he's been put in a position of a leader. Okay, so that is positional leadership. That is number one. For other people, it is the qualities which you imbibe of leadership. And leadership is one thing which we are not born with. Mahatma Gandhi was never a leader when he was in South Africa as a lawyer, right? He imbibed the qualities of a leader subsequently. So no one is born as a leader. Leaders are trained to become leaders. So wherever you go in your life, either in IAS, IFS, or IPS, you will be trained into the leadership qualities to be imbibed. So it is a proper training of a human being to become a leader, right? I spent 40 years of my life in the army. I was not a leader when I was a young chap, right? But I imbibed the qualities of a leader by my mentors, by my gurus. I saw them, I imbibed it, and then I became a leader. I was not born as a leader from my mother's womb. So that is a different ballgame per se. Okay, Lydia?
I would also like to ask another question. Apart from these standard books, would you recommend us to read some other books?
If you're preparing for CSC, please go as per your syllabus, because there's nothing out of the syllabi. There will not be, there won't be a book like this. This is, on mental toughness by Harvard Business Review. No one will ask you a question from this. This is an added on to enhance your knowledge. But whatever books are recommended in your syllabus, like Raspreet was saying, the idea is that you should download your syllabi, put it on your wall where your study table is, and tick off or highlight each and everything which you have done, each page and each topic. Because then you are confident, boss, I have read everything, and the thing is very, very vast. Other books you can read to add to your knowledge, not as a CSE only, because the time is too short. Your 6 months, 8 months is less. Believe you me, it is pretty less. You need a lot of effort to do it because it's very, very vast. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia.
Anybody else?
And otherwise, also, we are available through Colonel Verma anytime to check out anything which you want.
Yes, sir.
I think Colonel Verma is taking on the issues of mentorship, so that we can mentor you for each step depending on your preparation. But preparation you have to do yourself. No one can help you out in your preparation part of it. How your presentation we can help you out. And once you clear your mains, then we will We will teach you how to sit in front of the panel, because we will ask you extremely tough questions. We will induce that amount of fear in your mind, in the type of thinking in your mind, to push you into a corner to see how you come out of it. Like Raspreet said, no one is checking your knowledge. Aapka prelim ho gaya, main ho gaya, everyone is checking your knowledge. It is not that. It is a confirmation to your knowledge. I have knowledge. It is confirmation that, okay, is his knowledge and his personality development, is it matching or is it a divergence to each other? That is what is checked. Okay, anyone else?
Anyone else? Bhavya, you want to ask something, I think. Bhavya, where are you? Bhavya, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Good morning and Happy New Year, sir. Rajesh, sir, Happy New
Yes,
Year.
Is that Bhavya Yadav?
Vanna, sir. Yes,
yes,
sir,
sir.
Bhavya this
Oh,
side.
hi, Bhavya. How are you?
I'm
Bhavya
good,
and
sir.
I
How
are,
are
we are on WhatsApp
LinkedIn.
together.
Yes,
Bhavya,
you?
sir.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish you Happy New Year. You didn't even reply. Very bad.
Sir,
No, sir, I replied. I have texted you for that also.
मैं check Okay. No, I don't blame you. You must be busy here. Good.
sir,
No, no, sir. That
Bhavya is my
was not the
polity faculty, sir.
Bhavya and I are on LinkedIn. We are connected to your LinkedIn. Then we are connected now because she's an army officer's daughter. So we
Sir,
are now connected on WhatsApp. So she's an army brat. So इतना
yes,
थोड़ा
sir.
मैं जो करना पड़ेगा उसके लिए. हाँ जी, हाँ Bhavya.
Sir, I'm in the learning phase. I'm just learning from you guys. You all are very much experienced people.
We are still learning. We are still learning.
Sir, it's our pleasure that we are working under you and we are learning many more things.
The pleasure is ours. Totally ours.
Sir, here's my question is that you were saying that drawing a map is irrelevant nowadays, but if there is a question about geography and we know, if we know the exact position of the thing, then we can continue with the, let's say there is a question on India and China. So
Okay.
we can we draw a map placing those places the actually conflict was there,
Don't
like
do
in the
that.
dark?
No. I understand you're talking about the Galwan crisis and the Pingongsu crisis. You know, in maps, what happens is that none of us knows how to make the India map as per the cartograph. And
Okay.
if you remember that there's certain map jisme Arunachal was given to China and so much a hue and cry.
Yes,
You
sir.
cannot make an India map, by the way. Because if you make a map, India map, you have to be very clear as to the contours and the configuration of the northern states, where the problems are, the north and the northeastern states. Okay? So best is to avoid it. Everyone knows where the bloody hell China is, yaar. China ka kya lena dena? And if I'm going to talk of a Galwan crisis, how relevant is it to point out where Galwan is? It is irrelevant to point where Galwan is. It is relevant as to why Galwan is important, geographically and otherwise. And why the Chinese are coming into the Galwan area in the Dipsang Valley. Why are they doing it? And what is the relevance to the Siachen Glacier, which is a triangle between Pakistan and China? That is okay. Everyone knows it. So don't draw it.
So thank you, sir. Actually, what happens? हम लोग toppers को सुनते हैं and we used to follow those things in writing answers. I have heard many of the toppers that they were telling draw maps. Anu Kumari ma'am was saying something. So people used to follow them blindly. Actually, now you are.
No. Sorry. I'm not contradicting anyone. Only thing is that was it relevant? If I talk to you as to how do the earthquake takes place and how do the tectonic plates crash against each other, then it may be relevant. Suppose I ask you, tell me the layers of the atmosphere, then it is relevant. And again, it's not a diagram. If I just show it to you, if I say, okay, show me the type of spheres we have from stratosphere or ionosphere or whatever, I'll just make it in this manner if I'm you. I'll make a thing this. For me, this is Earth. Okay, I'll show it to you. And I'll make like this, out of which I'll say, okay, this is this sphere, this is this sphere, this is this sphere, this is this sphere. And I'll give the distances of each sphere from the Earth. And for me, this is the Earth. This is enough for me, yeah?
Okay, sir.
I don't have to sit down and draw Earth round होना चाहिए, इसमें equator यहाँ होगा, tropic of Cancer यहाँ होगा, tropic ये नहीं, सोचा.
बेसिकली सर हमें एक्चुअली ये पता होना चाहिए कि मतलब वी आर क्लियर इन आवर कंसेप्ट, हमें फिगर और उससे नहीं जाना है कि गोली बनानी है, ट्रायंगल बनाना है.
भाविया जी, आपको you have to sell yourself vis-a-vis Rashika, Rahul Anand, Lydia. How are you better than them?
Okay, sir. Okay.
It's a relative performance.
You have to sell yourself. So if you find that you're going to make a map of China and India and Pakistan, it will sell you or it will devour you because your map is wrong, you had it. Okay? And your flow chart is right, then you are good at it. So you have to take a call. Okay? But maps now becomes irrelevant when you talk of India map and all those things. It actually becomes irrelevant. Yeah. Suppose I talk to you about Afghanistan, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
I tell you that what is the Afghan's crisis and how is it dependent on the car states as to where the car states are and how relevant are the car states to the Afghan crisis. Now you have to be very clear that Afghan, say how many countries are bordering from China to Pakistan to Iran to so and so to Turkmenistan, etc., etc., etc. You have to be clear on that geography part of it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, and you make Afghanistan exactly as per the pattern of Afghanistan. You can make a dash, a line, which is Afghanistan, and show this is this state, this is this state, this is Iran, this is Pakistan, and this is China or whatever. Okay. So no one is checking your geography. This is not a geography exam. This is your knowledge exam and how you present yourself.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, Bhavya.
Okay, Bhavya. I think the last question we can take, sir. Harshit Mehta is there. Harshit,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Yeah, Harshit. Yeah, hi. Hi, Harshit. Hi.
Sir, as common term that you already told us that which has been asked in exam is like analyze, compare, define, describe, and the critical analysis. So according to my understanding, apart from critical analysis, the other terms like are interlinked, like they all mean the same thing. So do you also?
No. Actually, they don't mean the same thing. Each has a distinct part. Like examine is a different issue. Critical examination is a different issue. Examine is that your facts and figures on the statement, you are examining the statement of the question. Okay. Suppose I say, what are your views on the defense policy of India post in 1999 during the Kargil time? So defense policy prior to Kargil has no relevance. So you examining, I'm making you answer the question based on 1999, the Kargil Review Committee. Okay. So I'm telling you कि okay ये है, इसको examine कीजिएगा. अगर मैं आपको बोलूं critical examine, then it is pros and cons, to and for, and which one are you choosing? Read through it, Harshit. If you are preparing for your prelims, read through it. What does each of these words mean? But subtle iska meaning है. So be very clear. Discuss is different, examine is different, critically examine is different, analyze is different. I've got it written down. I have made my own notes. I don't want to waste everyone's time. Like I say, compare. Now compare, if you write, it is similarities and differences between two things. And do explain why similarities are useful. So if I say, you compare this thing with so and so, then suppose you will talk of ये जो अभी crisis चल रही है अपनी agricultural policy की, examine, compare the present policy with the previous policy. Then what I'm telling you to weigh both as to which one is better and which one is not better, and which one you recommend. So comparison becomes different. Critical analysis becomes different. Define, state what something means, does, and achieves. Same thing, describe characteristics and traits of a statement which has been given. So describe is different, discuss is different. So they got a subtle difference. You please understand that. And what you do is, my suggestion to you is, take your last 10 years papers of CSE and see as to how they use the play of these words. Discuss, describe, compare, analyze, critically analyze. And then you will understand what exactly he's asking. That's why I said the relevance and the context of the question should not be lost. And these are the limited things that they are directing you to see as to how you answer the questions. Harshit, just read about it a wee bit. If you have
Sure,
any
sir.
issue, come back to us. We will further
Sure, sir.
explain.
Sure,
I
sir.
got it. I got my own notes,
Yes, sir.
but I thought it is better that once you read it yourself, you will understand much better.
Yes, sir.
Sir, if
And there's
you,
a
sir, if it is possible that you can also share your notes and we will also read it through our sources. If that
I'll do that. My notes are written by me in my thing. I'll just share you. I'll share uh, block spot which I was going through. It is uh, I I'll send it across to क्या नाम है, Verma just now. Then he can
Sure.
share it with you. Just read the
Definitely, sir.
essence of it.
Definitely, sir.
I send it Verma. I send it on your mobile. You can share it with the people.
sure.
Right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Just go through it. It is interesting and that
Thank you.
Angrezi part of it. Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Harshit, where are you from?
Mumbai, sir.
Okay, good. Right. Anyone else? Hanji, Verma, I am through now. Anything else? Or should we let them go and study?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we are done with the session. Anybody else would like to know the last question? We can take only a short question, which not answered so far. I think the general officer has given all the good tips to improve upon answer writing and how to increase your marks in the CSE mains examination. I'll plan one more session that will be like fully for the answer writing. That will be in the
Yeah.
workshop mode.
What we can do is we can give them certain questions, let them answer in their own time, and
Sure.
then they can forward it to us. We'll check it out as to where they are right or where they are wrong, and
Sure.
then give them a timed one, so that when you put under pressure, your answer techniques are different.
Okay, right, sir. And let me also brief you guys. We at UPSC Launch have developed customized programs, Sampurna for beginners and freshers. So Avalamban is for the working ladies or the homemaking ladies, and the Nirantar, that is for unstoppable professionals. I request you to check out the features posted on the website. We have started the online interactive classrooms and we got a very good response. Thank you all for attending this session. I think we should bid you adieu for the session, and thank you, sir, for giving your
Thanks a lot.
valuable time, and I think those tips will definitely go a long way.
Thank you very much. So grateful. And guys, study hard. There's no shortcut. पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा 6 महीने 8 महीने 10 महीने जो भी है, just get on to it, push your bloody foot to the pedal, and it does make a difference. You'll do well.
Yeah,
Okay. God bless you guys.
we will be there to handhold and nurture you throughout all the three stages. So
Thank
looking
you.
forward to seeing you. Thank you very much, each and everyone. I conclude it. Jai Hind.